everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to another podcast of the Everyday Grind Unfiltered. This is Danai.
And this is Steph.
So, we were talking recently about gym sessions.
Yeah.
Different variation of it, classes versus free weights or custom programs, and possibly like a beginner's guide,
Yeah.
maybe. So, what is your preference? Do you prefer classes or do you have your own program that you're doing?
So it's funny because I never did classes
Yeah.
ever. I only did my brother's class
Yep.
when I worked at the gym, and that was it. And that was only like one of his classes. Like that was a spin class, and that was it.
I love spin class.
Yeah. Then I got into Pilates as well, and then I started getting qualified in certain things as well.
Yeah.
But I just participating in classes wasn't my thing. I just wanted to put my headphones in, go in, train.
Do your thing
Done.
and that's it. Yeah.
Since I joined the new gym, I do both. This is obviously all pre-pregnancy because now I'm lucky if I train the way that I bloody do. But it's different. Like the classes it's an atmosphere. It's you form a lot of friendships.
Yeah, true.
A lot of friendship. You meet a lot of people. You go in, like I do body pump. It's
What are the classes that you're doing? What are they called?
I do body pump and a fixed class,
Yep.
which is very different. So body pump, Les Mills, very endurance
Yeah.
based with weight. So,
Yep.
1,000 squats, whatever it is, but a low weight.
Yep.
And then fixed, which is outside in the gym, first focusing more on strength.
Okay. Yes. More like weight sessions.
Yeah,
and stuff.
weight session, exactly. And then obviously, when I can, I'll do my own as well. So I do both. I still love doing my own stuff. I don't think that will ever change.
Yeah.
I think you do push yourself. Well, at least I do. I tend to push myself more if I am on my own, which sounds weird.
I'm the opposite. And most people are the opposite. Like
It sounds
it's
weird.
hard to push yourself when you're on your own.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just get distracted
Within the
when
class
I'm in the
sometimes.
class
Yeah.
because I'm just
You're social,
having a good
socializing.
time and I'm talking.
The social butterfly.
Exactly. So I don't push myself as much as I would, I guess. Whereas when I'm on my own, I'll be like, okay, I can try. I don't know. It's weird.
It's interesting. That's interesting.
How about you?
Well, I always loved the gym, but I was always a sports girl. Since I remember myself, I was involved in some sort of sports, like either that's swimming or handball, volleyball, what have you. So I was always in a team environment, working out with a team. But that's when I found out about weightlifting and like doing that custom program. So I wasn't doing classes, but I was doing sports training, which is still in a team environment, similar maybe to classes. Yeah. And going through all the phases at the moment, again, I think I like both.
Yeah.
Like I continue liking both. I do my own custom program for bodybuilding, which is based on lower body training. So a lot, like 3 times per week is lower body. Weightlifting, custom to my needs, and then upper body once per week. So that gives us like 4 days. I have another 3 days to do something. That's when I will incorporate classes or volleyball training again. Yes, something like that. I was in love with spinning. Spin classes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I used to do it 3 times per week on top of volleyball. I don't know how. Now if you put me in a class, I'm just going to die. So I do agree with you. I think there is a beauty in both.
Definitely.
You get the socializing and the group sort of workout from the classes, but then you also push yourself the way you want it or more custom. We do with the community that I work with now, we do a lot of workouts, group workouts for all levels and stuff. So that's also fun because you get to meet different people and, you get to encourage each other and hype up and say, hey, you go. I do not push myself harder alone though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think like I still need sometimes the input of someone to push me, which is not
I get that.
it's not right when you're doing bodybuilding. You have to push yourself to the limit by yourself. I'm still learning on that.
I was going to say, you're still learning though.
I'm still learning, and like every time I do a PT with my coach, it's my favorite thing. Like I leave there crying. Thanks, Dryden. But and that's way better than class or training alone. Going with a coach, like a PT, if you have a good one, it's the best one.
Yeah.
I do like to train with a partner, like we did sometimes, or another girl that were training legs some days, Sophia. So I think it's a combo.
Yeah.
Like best in both worlds.
I think so.
Yeah. Do you feel like a beginner can infiltrate into either of the two? Like when you're a beginner, would you recommend to them to go only classes or both, or only custom, or?
Look, again, it's different because, I mean, it just depends on what beginner we're talking about. Like, if we're talking brand new beginner,
never stepped in the
never
gym,
squatted, doesn't know what exercise, not what exercise, but, doesn't know what dumbbells are, doesn't know what anything is, classes are not the way to start with.
Not the way?
No. Because you've got a big group.
Yeah.
And the instructor is up there telling you, tempos like 2 and 2 or this, but they don't have time to be walking around coming up to you and going, okay, this is how you squat.
Yes.
This is how you do chest press. This is how you do a, bent over.
Yeah.
They don't have time to be doing that. So I feel like if you don't have any experience, doing a class first is a good way of injuring yourself.
Yes.
And not coming back as well, because you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're not going to enjoy it. You won't come back. So I think if you are a beginner, I would organize a PT.
Yes. Yeah.
Most gyms will give you a free PT the first time as well, because you're like a new membership. That's part of their promotional thing. So I think utilize that and do it. They will show you around the gym. They'll explain the different classes as well, because all classes are different. Some are slow, some are high tempo, it depends what you want. They'll show you around the gym, they'll show you some techniques. But I think to begin with, having that one-on-one is very, very, very important.
I think I agree with you on that one. I was thinking classes, and I was thinking to say maybe start with a class, but the way you put it is absolutely correct, because I'm thinking if I didn't know how to squat, or I've never squatted in my life, or only I've seen it online, and then I have to do 1,001 within a short period of like, the instructor yelling, yes, go now.
100%.
Like, what am I doing?
And you won't go back.
Yeah, you won't go back. You'll injure yourself. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to get the benefit of the training.
And I feel like as well doing that, I think it's only human as well, right? Where if you're very overwhelmed and someone's not giving you that attention in that class, it's not the trainer's fault, but that person may think that it is because they've expected something.
I went to a training and no one paid attention to me. I didn't know what I was doing and no one corrected me.
And then it's like, the trainer wasn't good. And, but it's like, no, it's not the trainer's fault. Yeah. Like, that's not what classes are about.
Yeah, I like where the gyms have levels. Like I've been to a gym in the past in Greece, actually, that they had the same class 2 levels, which was beginner and next level, like intermediate or advanced. So the beginner was actually beginner level. So after a month, you would graduate from the beginner. So the guy was actually taking newbies, all levels, keeping it small, 4 or 5 people, and he was going to each individual. And he said, you need to do it consistently for a month or 2 months, and then you graduate to the next class, because the next class was like 10 people, 12, and you were doing the same exercises, but no one was correcting you.
Yeah.
So I like that concept, because you get the class vibe,
best of both worlds,
but still PT sort of. But yeah, I would start with a trainer, which is hard to find good ones as well.
Definitely.
I want to say, especially online, what I'm seeing, and in live environment, I actually, like, social media is great, but then it's so much out there as well. Yeah. Filtering what is good and what not, it's very hard for a beginner.
I think nowadays as well, it's so hard knowing who has the results from, I guess, working hard and, doing what they preached, compared to BBLs or
Oh
you know,
yeah,
having
like
surgery and then
Yeah.
advertising and being like, I, you know, got this way by doing X, Y, Z.
yeah,
And I think that's really misleading because, like I said, you've got a lot of, you know, newbies that they do watch Instagram.
yes,
They
and
do
they
watch
look up
TikTok,
to you, and yeah,
and they think, oh, these people know what they're talking about.
yeah.
But it's really hard to tell.
100%. And maybe the other thing that I would recommend to a new trainee is maybe do your own research on as well. So,
Definitely.
for instance, yes, you go with your PT and your trainer at the gym, and they tell you to do lat raises or side raises or squats or what have you. Write down those exercises and then go back online and find some
Watch
videos,
tutorials.
watch tutorials, which again, you have to filter out which ones are good or not. But you'll see, if you go to YouTube and you'll see that guy is
Influx.
popular and he has that million views, he must be doing something good. I think, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, watch and learn and understand why your knees have to be there, why your bum has to be there, why you don't tilt forward, you know. Work out the mechanic of that. And that's a good trainer as well that will explain.
I was just going to say, I think that's the way. There are obviously a lot of ways to tell and not to tell, but I think one of the biggest ways to tell if it's a good trainer, a PT, is they explain what this exercise is doing.
Yeah.
What it will, you know, what it will do. If it's, you know, targeting like anterior, if it's doing posterior, if it's doing this, if it's doing that.
Yeah.
Make sure this is tracking. If you don't track, this is what will happen. Like, I think when they explain it like that, then you know they are good.
They offer value as well to their training.
Whereas it's very easy and very common for people to get their qualification
Oh, yeah.
and to be like, okay, do 10 squats.
Yeah.
But then they don't explain anything of how do I do a squat?
Yeah.
What's the correct way? How do I do it without injuring myself?
Yeah.
What are the different variations
Yeah.
of a squat?
I agree
You
with
know,
that. And
it's not just one barbell. Like, there are millions of ways of doing it.
Yeah.
If I do a barbell compared to, you know, goblet squat or a single squat or whatever.
or using
what's
a
the
machine
difference?
versus free
Correct.
weights.
What's the difference? Where does it, you know, leg placement, if I do a squat where it's this way or that way or this way or whatever, which area is it targeting
Yeah.
the most? So I think that is a really good indication of if they are good, they will explain.
So yeah, so if you're a beginner, basically, you just need to find someone to guide you at the beginning before you jump into classes.
I think
And
so.
do your own research as well. And another thing that I wanted to add is have clear goals
Yeah.
in your mind. So I'm not saying, like, I didn't know when I started training that I'll end up from volleyball to bodybuilding. Of course, I didn't have the goal of bodybuilding since I was 8 years old. But when I say clear goals is why you're doing, why did you enroll to a gym? What do you want to do? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose like body fat? Do you want to gain muscles? Do you want to tone? Do you want more energy?
Build confidence.
Build confidence, make friends.
Yeah.
Anything that is, put it in your mind and have a clear goal. That works with
Yeah.
everything in your life pretty much. But
Doesn't need to be fit. I think that's the thing. People think when you go to the gym, it needs to be a physical.
yeah, no, I
Goal?
have to lose 10 kilos.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know if you want to lose 10 kilos when you
Exactly.
start. You maybe you're starting because you're like, well, I'm curious. What is this about?
Yeah.
So have a clear reason why you're doing what you're doing, because that is going to keep you accountable as
Definitely.
well.
And I think that will keep you disciplined and
Yeah.
consistent
Yeah.
as well because you have that goal.
You have a goal and you're saying,
Yeah.
it can be a short goal, obviously. It doesn't have to be like a long, massive goal. I want to conquer the world. But it can be something small, such as, you know, I'm feeling, I would just want to improve my cardiovascular,
Yeah.
for instance. Okay, that's clear because at least this way, A, you know why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And keeps you consistent. But B, and most importantly, the person who is working with you, like that your trainer, your coach, whoever that is, they also should know what to target you, like guide you towards. So if someone comes to me and says, I want to lose body fat, straight away I'm thinking, okay, that's a goal they have.
Exactly.
Let's educate them first. What is body fat? How to
Yeah.
lose it, or what have you. So it's, as a beginner, have a clear goal as well. It's very important.
And I think with that as well, having that support system as a beginner,
Yes,
because it is daunting. it is very daunting. I mean,
Yeah.
we spoke about it in a couple of podcasts ago. Like,
Yeah.
we know the gym, and when we see new equipment, we just kind of, lurk around and going,
100%.
how do you use that?
And I want to say,
Imagine a beginner.
I want to add to that. When I started bodybuilding, I was not a beginner.
Yeah,
But it did feel daunting.
100%, because
So
it's new.
It's new. And you step into a world where you don't know
Yeah.
what's happening there. And a lot of people that you see online, they already that step and
Yeah.
you're still there and you're like, oh, I don't know what are the middle steps to go up there. It is daunting, and I was not a beginner. So just try and build through your coach or through ask questions. Like,
Definitely.
I definitely reached out to a couple of the girls that I saw they were competing to the category that I want to compete into. I reached out randomly. I just found them online. I saw them in a show and I messaged and I was like, what do you usually do when you have this? Or how do you usually grow your upper glute or your lower glute? And a lot of them might have that Q&A.
Yeah.
Ask a question to that. It's not a shame to ask
No.
a question, because you
It's how
never
you
know.
learn.
You learn and you build your surrounding system being with people like-minded.
Yeah.
Basically.
But I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, like you and I, when we were going through that journey, we had each other as that support system. There are times where you can't be bothered. It's cold. You're exhausted from work, or whatever life throws at you. It happens. Happens to the best of us. And we would message each other and be like, oh my God, can't be bothered. And you have that support to be like, no,
that support
go.
or accountability. Exactly.
And like I said, that's us as people that go to the gym, regularly. So as a beginner,
I
think it's
even harder.
even more important to have that. You don't have to have 50 people. You just need that one person
Yep.
to push you, to have that support, to encourage you, to be there for you, I think.
Yeah. And it might even be your coach.
Yeah.
Like when I started bodybuilding with the coach back then, like the same one, I didn't know. I was like, oh my God, like, am I good for this?
Yeah.
Can I do it? All of that. And he's like, yeah, you can. Message me, whatever you need. Message me, whatever you want. So you just need one or two people to give you that support.
I think so.
So yeah, summing up, these are the main things that I would say to a beginner. And later on, if you become intermediate or, you step in the next step, then you can try both the custom program and
Definitely.
classes.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think that's all I had at the moment in this
Yeah.
beginner's guide. Let us know if you have any questions. If you are a beginner and you don't know where to start, obviously reach out. Happy to share if we know, if we have any advice to give you.
Yeah.
Steve, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
This is Danai.
And this is Steph.
Bye.
Bye.